Hi, my name is Ellie Phillips. If you didn't guess my shirt and the wall behind me, I am a Crystal Palace fan. Welcome back to episode 21 of Either I View. This is a series I created to get the three Fanalysis members ahead of our upcoming fixtures. This week we are hosting Burnley at Selhurst Park, and today I'm joined with a guest that has appeared on this channel before. It is Andrew. How are you doing today, Andrew?
I'm not bad, thank you, Ellie. Thank you for having me on. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for being here again. So, we were speaking before we started recording, but Burnley's form has been a bit up and down. You lost to West Ham and Sunderland most recently, but you have drawn to Liverpool, Tottenham, and United, but you still sit 19th in the table. How are you feeling? At the moment.
Not great, to be honest. The performances haven't been great in the last few games. Obviously, as you mentioned there, we've got the draws against Liverpool, United, and Tottenham, which in isolation are very good results. Obviously, going to Anfield and getting a point, that's a big result. But at the moment, with us being in 19th in the league, it's just that's simply not good enough for us. And the performance on Saturday against West Ham and then Monday last week against Sunderland, it was just boys versus men. They weren't great performances, and I think that sort of summed up our season really for us.
So you currently have 15 points, 8 points behind West Ham. Would you say your season's over?
Yeah, I think if you'd have asked me that in December, I'd have said the season's pretty much over. I think we're on, I think it's 16 games without winning now. The last win came against Wolves. Even that game, we potentially didn't deserve to win. I think it was a last minute winner from Foster when we had been 2-0 up. And there's no real signs of improvement in the squad, or improvement in terms of performances and tactics and everything that surrounds Burnley. And I think for most fans, and myself included, it's just a case of ticking each game off, get through it, and just wait for the end of the season, because it'd take a miracle to get us out of this relegation zone, and it'd take an even bigger miracle for us to win a game, I think.
And that's the toughest time to be a football fan, when there's just no hope and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You just gotta wait for it to ride out. And that is how it's been being a Palace fan recently. It felt like everything's just been against us. I'm not sure how much you saw during the transfer window, but it was just bad news after bad news after bad news. But at the end of it, we've come out of it quite in a good position, and the players that played against Brighton on Sunday, they look pretty good.
Yeah.
So I am hopeful. But did you sign anyone in particular that you're happy with in the transfer window?
We made one signing,
Oh,
and it was James Ward-Prowse on loan. Um, we've no option to buy him or an obligation or anything like that. It's just a straight loan deal till the end of the season. And I think he hasn't made an appearance for us yet. I think he's only had like 2 or 3 appearances for West Ham all season.
okay.
So it's going to take a bit of time to get him up to speed and get him match fit. And by that point, it's almost like, what's the point? So there were rumours of us looking to sign some other players, but nothing happened, and it was just a very lacklustre transfer window for Burnley.
Was there anyone that you wanted in particular?
I wanted a striker, and I think every football fan will say their team needs a striker, and it's probably the hardest position to fill. But yeah, we needed a striker, and I mean, I saw Mateta was happy to leave. I would have taken him. I know there's not a chance that would have happened, and I think you guys with Strand Larson, I think that's a superb signing for Palace. And I know that he's not had the greatest of records this season, but I would have liked him at Burnley. Obviously, things have worked out different, and he's probably out of our price range.
I mean, Mateta wanted AC Milan, so that is a bit of a different
Yeah.
transfer. Um, but you mentioned Strand Larson. Our team is a little bit different to how you faced us last time. Is there anyone in particular you're most fearful to play?
Last time I was on, I said Adam Wharton and Mateta were the two that
Okay,
worried me. Adam Wharton still worries me,
yeah.
because there's the Blackburn connection there. We gave him a little bit of stick when he came to Surfmore. Um, and yeah, it hurts to say, but he is a really, really good player. Um,
Yes.
and then Sarr and Strand Larson. I think Sarr obviously got your goal at the weekend against Brighton.
Yeah.
Um, and then Strand Larson, I know, like I say, the stats haven't particularly favoured him this season, but he is a great player, and I think
Yeah.
he'll come good for you guys. And it's just typical of Burnley to concede a hat trick or something from him this weekend.
I
This week,
mean,
sorry.
he showed promising signs at the weekend, but I think, like I said in the last episode, it's down to that delivery and the reception he'll receive at Palace. He wasn't getting that at Wolves,
No,
so which I was very critical of the price tag we paid for him, but at the same time, he is promoted pedigree and he knows what we want from him. So hopefully that turns into something amazing because I don't think Mateta will play for us again. I don't
no,
think, I personally don't think he will. A, because of his attitude, and B, because Strand Larson is just there now. Like,
yeah,
yeah, there's no need to bring him in. If we were desperate for a striker, then yeah, but we're not now. We have
no. You've got
options.
replacements and
Yeah,
options there, and like you say, the attitude. It'll take a lot for him to win fans back.
yeah, and I think they're currently debating giving him surgery. So
Yeah,
if that happens, then he'll be out anyway. But I don't know. I feel like attitude is a massive thing for footballers, and like at players in particular, we've dealt with a lot of big egos,
yeah,
and like I just don't like it. Like, yeah, when you're on the football pitch, you're a footballer. Just get on with it, and when you're
yeah.
not, just do your job. Like, you don't need to be given attitude and acting like you're bigger
No.
than the team. I just don't like it. Have you had anything like that at Burnley?
Uh, of the last couple of days, yes, a lot.
Oh,
There's so we've got a player called Hartman.
yeah.
He's supposedly rumours of him falling out with Scott Parker, and that's why he's not getting in the team. And then on Saturday, Alan Pace, Burnley's owner, went on to Football Focus
Oh
and
no.
did a little bit of an interview there, and compared some fans to 3-year-olds, saying that they were having a temper tantrum.
Oh my
Um,
god.
then we've had, obviously with the poor run of fixtures and results and how everything's building up at Burnley at the minute, some fans, I'll hold my hands up, myself included, booed Scott Parker off the pitch on Saturday.
Okay.
Um, so then he's made a comment in his post-match press
Oh my
conference. It's just a little bit
messy.
toxic at Burnley at the moment, and yeah, like you say, I think especially when you're in a situation like that, you just get your head down and you get on with it, and you don't alienate the fans because we've been there, we've been around a lot longer than they have for
Yeah,
our football club, and players, managers, owners, they come and go, but
exactly.
we'll still be there as fans. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's difficult, especially when it's players and managers that you like.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's no one bigger than the football club.
No, definitely not. So do you think Scott Parker should be sacked?
I wouldn't like him in our dugout against you guys on Wednesday. I think
Really?
I think he's gone a bit. I never like to say that I want a manager sacked because at the end of the day, you're wishing someone lost their job,
Yeah.
and they've got a family and house and
Yeah.
kids and all that. But us as fans, we pay our money, we work hard all week to justify going on the football, and
Yeah.
you use football as an escape, and
Yeah.
unfortunately it's just as depressing as going to work at the minute is watching Burnley. So yeah, something needs to change, and unfortunately, we're in the situation where 16 games without a win, questions have to be asked of the manager.
Yeah.
To be
100%. I said in my last episode that football is very fickle because we've on a losing streak of however many games. Like everyone's like, Glasner out, don't really want him in a football club. Me in particular, I still don't want him in my football club. Like I don't think the way he handled his resignation was professional in
no.
any way. Um, but now, we've beaten Brighton, everyone's like, oh my god, he should stay, he should, and I'm like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. Like, he's run game, and you now want him to stay. It's literally ridiculous. But I still, it is sad to say I want a manager sacked. Like you say, they are human.
Yeah.
But the way he handled things, I just don't think he has a place in the dugout.
No, it's difficult once you lose the fans to
Yeah,
get the fans back, and I think similar to Glasgow with Scott Parker, there's a lot to do to win the fans back. And I
yeah,
mean, we could go. I mean, it's not going to happen, but we could win every game between now and the end of the season,
yeah,
and it'll still take something special to win the fans back.
yeah,
And I think that's very similar with you guys in
yeah,
Glasgow, especially when he's brought you the FA Cup.
yeah,
He's giving you those good memories. Same with Parker and getting us promoted last year, and it's like almost those good memories are tainted with how the
yeah.
situation is now. And I think particularly with Glasner and Parker, you want them to leave with the head held high,
Mm-hmm.
and for you guys to look back in 5 or 6 years' time thinking it was a good
Yeah,
manager for us. And I think the way that Glasner handled his resignation, it's tainted that a little bit
yeah,
in my eyes.
100%. And you don't want that because, like you
No,
said, he's created so many special memories for us Palace fans that you want to remember that, not
yeah,
the way he's the attitude, but it all comes down to attitude at the end of the day. That yeah, our performances weren't the best and we haven't been scoring points, but it's how you react to that and how he's reacted to that as our manager. And it was interesting for me to hear that he handed his resignation in October. I was saying that our form started to dip around the time that he handed the resignation in, and to
yeah,
me, that's him saying, I'm giving up. Like, I'm
yeah,
here till the summer, but I don't care. Like, I'm just here because I have to be here, but I don't want to be. And that's not a good way to be handling your players and your fans. Because the fans didn't, no, not the fans, the players didn't even know until
no,
it was in the media. And I think that is even more insane
yeah,
to me. Like, it's just a mess.
yeah.
But,
You do it with a certain decorum and a certain way,
yeah,
and like you say, the players not knowing that's the biggest kicker for me, and especially
yeah.
because it was in a.
That's
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure it was in the press conference at the same
right at
time
the
where
end.
it was like confirming Gay was leaving and confirming Mateta, and it's like
The same day.
here's one bad news, here's a bit more bad news, and then here's even more. And yeah,
Yeah.
there's ways to do it, and like you say, it just takes the polish off all the nice things that's happened.
I'm sure the journalists in that room were absolutely loving that. Getting all that bad news in one day. They were watching the pound signs light up, but yeah, it wasn't a nice day to be a Palace fan. It was
No,
crazy. Before we move on to current affairs, I wanted to get your opinion on Dwight. No, Dwight McNeil. Is that his
Oh
name?
yeah, Dwight McNeil. Yeah,
I know he's not your player anymore, but have you seen the news that came out regarding his transfer?
yeah. I was going to ask you about that. What actually happened? Because as far as the last I saw, it was like everything had been agreed, and
Yeah,
then
and it just fell through last minute.
yeah,
I'm not entirely sure, but my question to you was like regarding the player welfare management, I guess.
yeah,
Like it's becoming more of a business
yeah.
than anything else. And like we're not prioritizing player welfare at
No,
all. And I understand deals fall through last minute. That's the nature of the game. But is it right? And like, is it should we be prioritizing the players over business and over money?
I think it's one of those where it's a very, very fine line to tread, and it's very difficult to get it right on either side.
Yeah,
Um, you look at players like McNeil, and it's easy to sit here and say, well, he's on £75,000
yeah,
a week or whatever, while I'm going to work to minimum wage, and you know what you're getting into when you get into football. You know that's what it's like. If you don't want that to happen, you
mm,
avoid it. But then at the same time, it goes back to what we were saying before about managers and sacking. They're still human beings.
yeah,
They're still, people, and this is their life.
yeah,
And especially for a deal to fall through so late in the day. I think McNeil's girlfriend said it,
yeah,
like you're ready to uproot your whole family and
yeah,
plan the next 4 or 5 years of your life, and it
yeah,
just disappears like that. And it's a very, very fine line, and I think there probably is something more that can be done, but at the same time, football's a business, and you know what you're getting into. It's difficult to say, really.
yeah, definitely. And we was on the other end of it at the in the last transfer window when Mark Davies deal fell through right at the last
Yeah,
minute, and I praised his professionalism after that. That he did not change the way he played for the club until the minute he left. But there
yeah,
was no signs that he was annoyed at the club, at the owners, and that's a true professional, in my
yeah,
opinion. But at the same time, they are human and they will feel emotions. And like you say, the girlfriend said that they were ready to upheave their lives.
yeah.
But that's true. Like he was moving from Everton to London. That's not a small change. That's a
No,
massive change.
no, and especially when it is a player such as Dwight McNeil, where he came through Man United's academy, came then obviously moved to Burnley's academy, came up through Burnley, and then went to Everton. He's stayed
Yeah,
local,
yeah,
and to move from like Burnley, Manchester, Everton
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
down to London, it's
And
it's a big change in
mm,
itself. Um, so yeah, it's unfortunate, and it's one of them where we probably could be doing better, but he's
it's a
on seventy
business.
five thousand pounds a week.
I just need to remember that, and then yeah, yeah, it's just crazy. The money in football is
It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
I was saying last week about the Strand Larsen fee, like £48 million for a striker that scored one goal this season. It's ridiculous.
I don't think I'll ever see that much money in my life.
Me neither. Me, if I do, I've literally won at life. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah, let's turn our attention back to now. You mentioned you only signed one player, so your team is quite the same as last time. But if you had to choose one player for us to be fearful of, who would it be?
I'd say Ward Prowse because I know what he's like on a dead ball. He's better at corners and free kicks than anyone else in our team, but he might not even get any minutes to play. So apart from that, I think it's the same as last time with Dubravka because he's been our shining star this season, and without him, we'd be on a lot more points. We'd have a lot less points that we've already got.
I mean, to be fair, we have very bad history of Woodcrafts. I'm not sure if you know that the drama between him and Zaha when Zaha was at Palace.
No,
Like
I don't.
every single game, Southampton versus Palace, it was them two like at each other. So I don't
Yeah.
think Palace fans are the best fans of him. So I'm sure they'll appreciate him back at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get a bit of a fiery debut if he does come on then.
Exactly. Are you coming down to Selhurst Park?
I'm not, no, because it's a midweek game. Unfortunately, I'm not doing. But I've been before, and it's a nice ground. I do like Selhurst Park.
You're not the only person that said that on this series. Everyone hates it, and I understand because the away fans can't see anything.
No,
Yeah,
no, I liked it. It was very. It's not one of these soulless football grounds
yeah,
like the top six have, and
yeah.
it's a very traditional football ground, and
Mm,
that's what I like about it. And away fans shouldn't have the best view. You want to make it not great for the away. You
yeah,
want as much. What's the
advantage.
word? Like advantage for the home
Yeah,
side as you can. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I understand it and I rate it.
yeah. At least everyone does, because everyone just moans about players. But I love it, it's my home. But yeah, I'm not doing this week either. I think these midweek games are just ridiculous. Like, the fans are not prioritised. I thought that Rise Burnley Palace on a Wednesday night. Like,
No,
it's crazy.
it's crazy, and I'm pretty sure when we played you guys earlier in the season, it was a midweek game as
Midweek.
well. So
I think you're right, yeah.
it's a long way to travel for both sets of
Yeah,
fans in both fixtures, and yeah, they don't think about the fans when they're organising it. Definitely not.
definitely not. But the last time we played each other at Turf Moor, it was 1-0 to us. And that was the last game we played before we went on this horrendous losing streak. So hopefully history will not repeat itself. I cannot deal with that again. But what is your prediction for this week's game?
I'm struggling between 2-0 or 3-0 for you guys.
Really?
Yeah, we're not in good form whatsoever. Um, it's not enjoyable viewing for any Burnley fan, and I think you guys have obviously you've just beaten Brighton, who they're your rivals. Your fans will be on a high, the players will be on a high. You're at home. Um, yeah, I can't see anything other than a high win for you guys.
I mean, our home record is horrendous. So that should give you a little bit of confidence. Because, oh my god, the amount of games I've been to this season and we've lost. And it's like, we're at home. What are you doing? Like, these fans are here for you. It's crazy. But yeah, we can only hope. And I hope it's a high scoring game. But I don't really know. Like, against Brighton, we only had that one shot, and that is the one that we scored. Whereas in previous games, we've had loads of chances, but just couldn't take them.
No,
So it could be either way, I guess. Loads of chances or just one and hope we take it.
you'll get a lot of chances against us. I guarantee that.
Well, I hope you enjoy the game. We'll be watching from home.
Yeah, I'll be watching it. I'll be
Is it on
watching it.
Sky?
It's either Sky or TNT, I think.
Oh, I hate TNT. I should not say that on YouTube. TNT, I love you. Give me a job. But yeah, I only have a subscription to Sky because all these subscriptions are just so expensive,
They
and
just add up.
yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the game, and thank you very much for coming back on my channel. And
No.
where can my viewers find you?
Yeah, so all social media, just always Claret, making my graphics. Yeah, just always Claret.
Amazing. Well, be sure to give Andrew a follow, and I will see you next week for another episode of Easier IX Views.